The air in the dark market was thick with the stench of rust, sweat, and desperation. Flickering neon lights cast eerie shadows over the labyrinth of stalls where alien merchants peddled their wares, some legal, most not. The market was a haven for the galaxy's outcasts, smugglers, bounty hunters, and those who had nowhere else to go. It was a place where hope went to die, and yet it was here that she cried out for it. Her name was Caliph, a Zorati, a species known for their luminescent skin and empathic abilities. Once, she had been free, a wanderer among the stars. But now, she was chained to a post, her once vibrant glow dimmed by the weight of her captivity. Her captor, a hulking Varaxian with scales as black as the void, barked at passers-by, advertising her as a rare empath, perfect for interrogation or companionship. Calith's voice trembled as she called out, not in her native tongue, but in galactic common, the language of trade and desperation. "Please, someone help me. I don't belong here." Most ignored her. A few sneered. One or two even laughed. The dark market was no place for mercy. But then, amidst the sea of indifferent faces, one pair of eyes met hers. Human eyes, brown and piercing, filled with something she hadn't seen in what felt like an eternity: determination. The man was tall, with a scruffy beard and a long coat that had seen better days. He moved with purpose, weaving through the crowd until he stood before her. His gaze flicked to the Varaxian, then back to her. "How much?" he asked, his voice steady. The Varaxian grinned, revealing rows of jagged teeth. "For you, human? 5,000 credits. She's worth every penny." The man didn't flinch. "I'll give you 3, 4, and she's yours. Deal." Calith's heart raced as the man handed over a cred stick. The Varaxian unlocked her chains with a grunt, shoving her toward the human. She stumbled, but the man caught her, his grip firm yet gentle. "Easy," he said. "I've got you." As they walked away from the stall, Calith's mind buzzed with questions. Who was this man? Why had he bought her? Was he just another captor, or something else entirely? She dared not hope. Not yet. "My name's Yarrick," the man said, breaking the silence. "And you're safe now. I'm not going to hurt you." Calith studied him, her empathic senses reaching out. She felt no malice in him, only a deep, simmering anger, not at her but at the world. "Why did you help me?" she asked. Yarrick sighed, running a hand through his hair. "Let's just say I've got a thing for lost causes. Besides, no one deserves to be treated like that." They reached a small, battered starship docked at the edge of the market. Yarrick led her inside, the interior cluttered but functional. He gestured to a seat. "Make yourself comfortable. We'll be leaving soon." As the ship's engines hummed to life, Caliph finally allowed herself to hope. Maybe, just maybe, this human was different. The journey was quiet at first, the silence broken only by the occasional beep of the ship's controls. Caliph sat in the co-pilot seat, her luminescent skin casting a soft glow in the dim cabin. She glanced at Yarrick, who was focused on navigating through the asteroid field surrounding the dark market. "Where are we going?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Yarrick didn't look at her, his hands steady on the controls. "Away from here. Somewhere safe." Caliph frowned. "Safe for me? Or safe for you?" That made him pause. He glanced at her, his expression unreadable. "Both, if I'm lucky." She wanted to press further, to understand the man who had saved her, but something in his tone warned her against it. Instead, she turned her gaze to the viewport, watching as the asteroids drifted by like silent sentinels. Hours passed, and the ship finally broke free of the asteroid field, entering the calm of open space. Yarrick leaned back in his seat, exhaling deeply. "We're clear. For now." Caliph seized the opportunity. "Who are you, Yarrick? Really? He hesitated, then shrugged. Just a guy trying to make a difference. Not that it's working out too well. Are you a smuggler? A bounty hunter? He chuckled, though there was no humor in it. Used to be a soldier. Now, I'm not sure what I am. Caliph sensed the pain behind his words, the weight of regrets he carried. She reached out, her hand brushing his. Thank you for saving me. Yerrick looked at her, his eyes softening. Don't thank me yet. We're not out of the woods. Their respite was short-lived. An alarm blared, jolting them both awake. Yerrick leapt to his feet, his hands flying over the controls. We got company? Calith's heart sank as she saw the ship on the scanner. A Varaxian cruiser, its sleek, predatory design unmistakable. They've come for me, she whispered. Jarrick's jaw tightened. Not if I can help it. The cruiser opened fire, its plasma cannons lighting up the void. Yerrick maneuvered the ship with skill, dodging the blasts, but it was clear they were outmatched. Hang on, he shouted, pushing the engines to their limit. Calith clung to her seat, her mind racing. She couldn't let Yerrick die for her. She had to do something. Closing her eyes, she reached out with her empathic abilities, searching for the minds of their pursuers. She found them, angry, determined, but not invincible. With a deep breath, she focused her energy, sending a wave of fear and confusion toward the Varaxians. The cruiser's fire faltered, its movements becoming erratic. Yerrick glanced at her, his eyes wide. What did you do? Just fly, she urged. He didn't need to be told twice. With the cruiser momentarily disabled, he activated the hyperdrive, and the stars blurred as they shot into hyperspace. When they emerged, the ship was in bad shape, but they were alive. Yerrick slumped in his seat, breathing heavily. That was too close. Caliph nodded, her strength drained. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you in danger. Yerrick shook his head. You didn't. They did. And we're not done yet. He set a course for a remote planet on the edge of known space, a place where they could regroup and repair the ship. As they descended through the atmosphere, Caliph felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, they could find a way to escape the darkness together. The planet was a barren wasteland, its surface scarred by ancient wars. But it was also a place of refuge, where the galaxy's forgotten could disappear. Yerrick landed the ship in a hidden canyon, its walls offering protection from prying eyes. As they worked to repair the ship, Caliph and Yerrick grew closer. She learned of his past, of the war that had cost him everything, and of his vow to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. He, in turn, learned of her people, of their connection to the stars, and of the tragedy that had led to her capture. One night, as they sat beneath the planet's twin moons, Caliph turned to Yerrick. What happens now? He looked at her, his eyes filled with a quiet resolve. We keep fighting. For freedom. For hope. For a better future. Caliph smiled, her luminescent skin glowing brighter than ever. Then I'll fight with you. And so, the empath and the human set out into the stars, two lost souls bound by a shared purpose. The galaxy was vast and filled with darkness, but together, they would light the way. Months later, whispers began to spread across the galaxy of a human and a Zorti who fought for the oppressed, who struck back against the slavers and the tyrants. They became a symbol of hope, a beacon in the darkness. And though the road was long and fraught with danger, Caliph and Yerrick never wavered. For they had found something rare and precious in each other, a reason to keep going, even when the night seemed endless. In the end, it wasn't just about survival. It was about making a difference. And together they did